Good morning. Welcome to Saturday morning meditation. The first thing that we do whenever we sit down to meditate is establish our compassionate intention. So whatever baggage we're carrying from our week or from our morning, we can just let that go and center ourselves in our intention for our practice. So we'll just take a moment to generate compassion for all sentient beings and to make the aspirational wish that our practice today will bring benefit to all beings. Okay, and then we'll say the opening prayers. I have a little bit of a cold, so we're just going to chant these and rather than singing them. Organ yugi no jansam, pema ge sa don pola, yatsen chogi ngo drupne, pema junne jesu dak, kordu kandro mangpa kor, keki jesu dak drupki, jinji lop shir sheksu so, guru pema siri home. Organ yugi no jansam, pema ge sa don pola, yatsen chogi ngo drupne, pema junne jesu dak, kordu kandro mangpa kor, keki jesu dak drupki, Jinji lopchir sheksu so, guru pema siri hong. Orkan yugi num jansam, pema ge sardom pola, yatsen chogi ngodrupne, pema junne jesu rak, kordu kandro mangpo kor, keki jesu da drupki, jinji lopchir sheksu so, guru pema siri hong. So the meditation that we'll be doing today is called Shamatha meditation or calm abiding meditation. This is taught by Jetsama Akhan Lamo in her book Stabilizing the Mind. This meditation is common to all Buddhist traditions, but you don't have to be Buddhist to practice it. So what is meditation? Jetsama has taught that meditation is the natural state of mind when it is relaxed, stable, and open. Shamatha meditation trains our mind to be both calm and relaxed and alert and wakeful at the same time. The point of this meditation is to create space in the mind. And creating space in the mind helps us to balance our emotions. It gives us time between whatever's going on in our life and our reaction to it. So maybe we can respond instead of reacting out of our emotional habits. And this little bit of space in the mind is also the first step in the development of bodhicitta, or the compassionate wish to free all sentient beings from suffering. So let's take a comfortable seat. Either you can sit in a chair or cross-legged on the floor. And place your hands in your lap, gently relaxed. I'm going to check in with your posture. If you need to adjust your cushion at all to make sure that to support your spine. I want to make sure our spine is straight.
You can imagine a thread going up your spine and out the crown of your head, and then just tug on that thread to pull your spine nice and tall. Your hands, we typically hold one hand in the other with the thumbs touching and place the hands so the thumbs are just below the navel. You can also just rest your hands on your thighs. And then our shoulders are open. Our elbows are out a little bit, so there's this room around our rib cage, lots of room to breathe. Your eyes will remain open, looking downwards. You can imagine a line following the bridge of your nose and extending down, down, down to the floor. And just find a point along that line where it's comfortable to rest your gaze. And then lastly, place the tip of your tongue right behind your front teeth. It's like saying the letter L. And allow yourself to relax completely and breathe normally. Just relax into your natural rhythm of breathing. If you feel like your breaths are really shallow, you can just do a really deep exhale. Let out all your breath. That helps to reset your natural breathing rhythm. And then we're going to just place a very light attention on our breathing. Just the most gossamer thin attention on our breath. It's like taking your pulse. You don't put any pressure on it. Just observe it. Your attention is like a feather, gently riding on the surface of your breath. And when thoughts come up, just let them go like bubbles popping on the surface of a pond. Don't even look to see what they are. Your meditation is not lost by hearing your thoughts, but by following them down the road. So as soon as you notice yourself following a thought, just drop it. Come back to the breath. And if it's really difficult for you to dismiss your thoughts, you can imagine cutting them up with scissors and throwing them away, or picking them up with tongs and dropping them. But you always drop the thought and return to your single-pointed concentration. You return again and again to the gossamer thin attention on your breath.
So that's our first round of meditation. We'll do 3 rounds of meditation today. It's important between rounds when we stop our meditation, we totally stop it. We drop it completely, and we don't try to like wrap ourselves up in our meditative experience. And sometimes people after they meditate, they kind of it's like when you're all cozy in bed and you want to wrap the blanket around yourself and get out of bed with the blanket and just kind of keep the bed with you, like you want to stay cozy in it. Some people do that with their meditative experience, and they're kind of like try to stay dreamy and not quite let go of it. But that's not what we do. When we're done meditating, when the bell dings, drop it. We're done. Wake up. If you're meditating on your own and you want to try doing short sessions, sometimes it's for some people it'll work better if you want to do, like, let's say 15 minutes of meditation a day. Instead of doing 15 minutes, it might work better for you to do 5 3-minute sessions or 15 1-minute sessions. And if you do that, if you break up your sessions like that, then like when you're done with that round of meditation, like fully drop it. You can get up and walk around and like just totally drop it. And then you come back and you go fully back to your meditation. So let's go back to our meditation. I will sit for longer this time. We set our timer. So while we're meditating, the Tibetan word for meditation, gom, means like creating familiarity with the mind, becoming familiar with the mind. And so you'll start to see what your mind is doing as you meditate. You start getting used to the patterns and habits in your mind. And you may notice that our habits tend to be very self-centered. Most of our thoughts revolve around ourselves. Things I have to do later, or I'm feeling sleepy, I'm feeling like whatever. I wish I could drink my coffee right now, whatever you think, but it's normally something around yourself. Even if it's maybe I have to do something for someone else, but it still maybe is about you and your to-do list. So we'll start to see just that how much we think about ourselves. And also when that self-focus comes up during our meditation, it can make us really sleepy. Because we can be either focused on how comfy and cozy we are, or we can just be focused on, that we wish we could do something else. We could, or bored. So that self-focus can also kind of sink us in our meditation. So if you're feeling sleepy today, a couple of things you can do. One thing is you can raise your gaze. So the point at which you're resting your eyes, you can raise that a little bit to let more light into your eyes. Conversely, you can lower your gaze to kind of reduce the mental energy. And then also, if another thing you can do is just recenter yourself in your compassionate intention, and that it's so important to do this practice to tame your mind so we can be of benefit to all beings. So refocusing on that compassionate intention can also like be a fire in our hearts that keeps us awake as we practice. So we'll meditate for 15 minutes this time. We'll come back to our meditative posture. Our straight spine, relaxed body. Eyes are looking downwards. The tongue is just behind the front teeth.
Allow yourself to relax completely and breathe normally. And then put a very light attention on your breathing. It's like taking your pulse. You don't put any pressure on it or try to change it in any way. Just observe it. Your attention is like a feather, gently riding on the surface of your breath. All right. So, another thing to remember while we're meditating is to let go of your expectations for this practice. While we're meditating, we are not trying to get enlightened. We're not trying to be a great meditator. We're not trying to be a good meditator. The only thing we are doing is resting our mind on the breath. We're not judging ourselves for how well we're doing with that. We're not thinking about how whatever thought we just got distracted by. We're not doing any of that. All we're doing is resting the mind on the breath. That's it. And anytime we forget, we come back to resting the mind on the breath. And that's it. We're just resting the mind. Resting the mind on the breath. It's very rare that we allow our minds to rest. So this isn't something we're used to. So letting ourselves not really do anything. This isn't like a striving. We're not trying to do anything. We're resting the mind on the breath. And your mind's going to then be like, but I have to do something. I have to think about this. I have to do. We're resting. We just rest the mind on the breath. So we're going to do a quick little 3-minute meditation to end, and then we will say our dedication prayers. So back to our meditation posture. Straight spine, relaxed body. Your intention is like a feather, gently riding on the surface of your breath. Okay, and then we'll end with our dedication prayers. Throughout my many lives and until this moment, whatever virtue I have accomplished, including the merit generated by this practice, and all that I will ever attain, this I offer for the welfare of sentient beings. May sickness, war, famine, and suffering be decreased for every being, while their wisdom and compassion increase in this and every future life. May I clearly perceive all experiences to be as insubstantial as the dream fabric of the night, and instantly awaken to perceive the pure wisdom display in the arising of every phenomenon. May I quickly attain enlightenment in order to work ceaselessly for the liberation of all sentient beings. Buddhas and Bodhisattvas altogether, whatever kind of motivation you have, whatever kind of beneficial action, whatever kind of wishing prayers, whatever kind of omniscience, whatever kind of life accomplishment, whatever kind of benevolent power, and whatever kind of immense wisdom you have, similarly I who have come in the same way to benefit beings, pray to attain these qualities. By this effort, may all sentient beings be free of suffering. May their minds be filled with the nectar of virtue. In this way, may all causes resulting in suffering be extinguished, and only the light of compassion shine throughout all realms.